So Christopher Nolan has finally joined a new studio in the build-up to his next theatrical release, giving us confirmation that the filmmaker is not making his next movie with Warner Brothers. It's just been revealed that the filmmaker is joining Universal Pictures, and production will begin on his World War II Oppenheimer film very soon. I'm going to be addressing this new update and discussing my overall thoughts on the move. But before I get into it, if you want to see more updates and videos on the work of directors like Christopher Nolan, then don't forget to support this video by giving it a like rating, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your notifications. Also, feel free to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Instagram at Cortex Videos, which is all linked in the description below. But without further ado, let's dive into Christopher Nolan leaving Warner Brothers and joining Universal Pictures. So director Christopher Nolan has officially left Warner Brothers after 19 years, as Deadline Hollywood has confirmed that the director's next movie, a biographical drama about J. Robert Oppenheimer and his role in the development of the atom bomb, has landed at Universal Pictures. Since 2002's Insomnia, right up to 2020's Tenet, Nolan made all of his movies for Warner Brothers, including Inception, Interstellar, and the Dark Knight trilogy. But according to Deadline, sources said that the film is now greenlit to begin production in the first quarter of 2022. When Deadline broke the story a few days ago about this film being shopped, Nolan's longtime collaborator Cillian Murphy was in the mix for a key role, and while that may still happen, there have been no definitive casting attachments at this point. Many in the industry, including most of us on the channel, expected Nolan to leave Warner Brothers after he publicly condemned them for pushing their entire 2021 film slate to a hybrid release model in which titles debut in theaters on the same day they become available to stream on HBO Max. And rightly so. Nolan was in disbelief over their handling of new releases, adding, "There's such controversy around it because they didn't tell anyone. In 2021, they've got some of the top filmmakers in the world, they've got some of the biggest stars in the world who worked for years in some cases on these projects, very close to their hearts, that are meant to be big screen experiences. They're meant to be out there for the widest possible audiences, and now they're being used as a loss leader for the streaming service. So there's a lot of controversy." But as for Universal Pictures, the studio made more headlines earlier in the year when they signed a new theatrical window agreement with top chains such as Regal and AMC, meaning that films which gross over $50 million on their opening weekend get an exclusive theatrical window of at least 31 days, while films that open under $50 million get a 17-day window. So Nolan clearly looked at all of the data and found that Universal had a viable way of releasing their films, and it could help him maintain the theatrical priorities that his film requires and deserves. The best way that elite filmmakers can control how their films are distributed is to honestly take the route that Nolan and his reps did here and control their destiny through deal making. And the financial part of this was relatively simple, as the deal followed the template of the one Nolan has operated under at Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers have now lost a cornerstone director who at age 51 is in his prime with a lot of stories left to tell, and it is a potentially important pushback from a theatrical film purist in this streaming juggernaut moment. So I'm really happy that Christopher Nolan has gone and moved to Universal Pictures. He has took the situation by his own hands and organised a deal with a studio that is fair on theatrical distribution, that obviously communicates better with filmmakers in the industry and outlines the structures to them before making decisions, and it's one that has proven in this pandemic that you can make it work. Now, Fast and Furious 9 may be a terrible film, but its distribution at Universal has shown that in this dire situation, you can release a film theatrically and do brilliantly at the box office. To this day, the film is the highest grossing in the pandemic worldwide, and the studio gave it a full run in theatres. Now they are about to do the same with Nolan in hopefully a brighter period for the theatrical industry, and Christopher Nolan has brought himself a deal with a studio that clearly cares more about its filmmakers. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but overall, I'm really happy for Nolan and I can't wait for his new Oppenheimer movie over at Universal Pictures. But that was all the details surrounding Christopher Nolan's move to Universal Pictures. I will be keeping you up to date on everything surrounding his new movie, alongside his move to Universal, and it will be interesting to see what happens in the coming months. But regardless of these latest details and what I think, let me know down below what your opinion is towards Christopher Nolan leaving Warner Brothers and joining Universal, alongside what you want to see from his new film. For more updates and content on the work of directors like Christopher Nolan, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating and follow me on social media via the links in the description. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.